Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back. Discourse studies and discourse analysis. These two topics are closely interrelated and overlapping each other. In this video, we will discuss their scope, focus, and function and see how they are different from each other.
What is difference between discourse studies and discourse analysis? Discourse studies and discourse analysis are closely related and overlapping. So it means that both discourse analysis and discourse studies are interrelated. That there are some areas that fall within discourse analysis and discourse studies. However, discourse studies and discourse analysis differ in scope, in focus, and function. So, we will discuss these one by one in the coming slides. If we talk about definition, discourse studies is interdisciplinary. It is interdisciplinary field that studies language in use across various contexts. So, discourse study is multi-dimensional. It's interdisciplinary, meaning it relates or it deals with different subjects. Whereas discourse analysis is a methodological approach. So, it means a step of methods. It is approach consisting of different methods or set of tools for analyzing actual instances of discourse. You may understand in this way that discourse studies is a broader term that relates to different disciplines or language use in different disciplines, whereas discourse analysis is a set of rules that are used to analyze spoken text, written text, or visual text. If we talk about scope, discourse studies encompasses theories, frameworks, ideologies, and methodologies related to discourse. So it encompasses all the methodologies, all the frameworks, all the theories that relates to discourse. Whereas discourse analysis, it primarily focuses on analyzing discourse data by applying specific methods and see how the meaning has been constructed in different contexts. And discourse studies draws from linguistics, sociology, psychology, media studies, political science, education, and so on. As we have discussed in the previous slide, it's interdisciplinary. It's need different various disciplines. It links different disciplines. Whereas discourse analysis is mostly associated with applied linguistics, social linguistics, or and quantitative research methods. So, discourse analysis focuses on methods used in social linguistics or applied linguistics. If we talk about theoretical or analytical perspective, discourse study is theoretical and broad in nature. So, discourse study is broader. The scope of discourse study is broader as compared to discourse analysis because discourse studies deals with the questions what discourse is, how it works, and how it shapes societies. So it deals with the nature of the discourse, how different disciplines conceptualize it, how different disciplines treat or deal with discourse. For example, exploring how discourse has evolved in post-colonial societies or how digital discourse affects identity. So if we are going to explore what are the different chronological stages of discourse or how digital discourse affect identity, this is theoretically based and it falls under discourse studies. And whereas discourse analysis is practical, analytical. It involves applying tools and techniques to specific text. In discourse analysis, we take some specific text and apply some techniques or rules and try to uncover the pattern used in the discourse, meanings constructed in the discourse, and power dynamics treated or dealt in particular discourse. For example, analyzing how politicians use metaphor in campaign speeches to shape public. So this is again application of some specific rule to see how opinion is shaped through political campaigns, what kind of language is used to convince public. If we talk about discourse studies and discourse analysis as a tool or field, discourse studies is the field of study like an entire an academic city, whereas discourse analysis is a tool or method within a city like a practical, like a particular kind of research method you might use depending on a question. Discourse study is a broader field, like an entire building or entire block, whereas or city, where a discourse analysis is a particular kind of specific area or particular kind of tools or techniques that are used to investigate some particular discourse. For example, you can be doing discourse studies without analyzing or doing discourse analysis, especially if you are working on theoretical or philosophical questions about language. So, if you are dealing discourse from theoretical point of view or philosophical point of view, it's mean that you are undertaking discourse studies. But every discourse analyst operates within the broader framework of discourse studies. So if you are analyzing some discourse, it's means that you are using a broader field of discourse studies. For example, theorize about how new liberal discourse influences education globally. So if any researcher wants to analyze how new discourse influence education or educational policies, it would fall under discourse studies. One more example is how digital discourse has reshaped notions of identity. So, what are the effects of digital discourse on social identities? This would come under discourse studies. And as a discourse analyst, take a set of university policy documents and analyze how students are framed as consumers, clients, and learners. So, if you are doing discourse analysis, you may analyze or see how policies are framed or what are the effect of the policies the students as a consumer, clients, or a learners. In this way, you may use some theoretical models like a Filtroff dimensional model, Van Dyck's model, or some other model to unveil ideologies. So, if I summarize, discourse studies is a broader interdisciplinary field. It deals with different disciplines, whereas discourse analysis is a particular method or approach within particular area or field. It is theoretical or conceptual, whereas discourse analysis is practical and analytical. Theoretical and discourse studies explore nature, role, and impact of discourse. So they deal with this one. Whereas discourse analysis analyzes text to understand how meanings is created. Discourse studies aims to understand how discourse shapes a society, whereas discourse analysis uncovers meanings, power, and ideologies behind the discourse or used through discourse. I hope you have understood it. If you have any questions, please write in the comment box. Take care. Thank you.